Hello. Here
Hello.
we are once again, Friday night. It's time for some free for all fun times with the Decibel Geek podcast. I'm Aaron Camaro, joined as always by my co host and awesome kick ass friend, Chris Sinzak. And I don't see Rock and Ron anywhere. What happened to Ron?
Yeah, where is Ron right now? I'm not
Ron
sure.
disappeared. I guess he's experiencing a wardrobe malfunction or something. So be grateful that he
Yeah,
had the courtesy to shut down his camera real quick. But
yeah,
for
we
now, you
need to
got
see that.
myself, you got Chris Sinzak. What's going on, brother?
End of a long week, and I think a longer week for you from what you've told me through text.
Yeah, it's been a wild week for me, but when I'm not podcasting, I am working in the restaurant industry. I don't work in a kitchen or anything, but I do maintenance for some of the most high-end awesome restaurants in Nashville. And you know what? The word is looking good that things are about to, start opening back up. They're expecting big things for the summer. And we're working on some new awesome establishments here in town. So, I've been bebopping all over Nashville and working my ass off this week, but we're ready for this summer. And that makes me feel good about Rockin' Pod coming up. And I know you got some big
Yeah,
announcements coming for that pretty soon.
yeah. A week from today, we'll announce the dates for the event this year. We'll announce the ticket sales, registration for podcasters, and all that good stuff, and probably a few guests too to start off things. So yeah, we're working on some
Awesome.
cool stuff behind the scenes. But yeah,
Very
that's
cool.
seems like things are trending in the right direction. Hopefully, on getting things back to normal. And I certainly hope things are back to normal by August. So that'll be cool.
I
But
got a good feeling about it, man. A real good feeling. What are you thinking about my beard and my mustache, huh? You
it
like
look
that?
it looks cool. I
Oh,
hadn't I
yeah.
hadn't noticed till today. You like when did you start growing that out?
Nobody noticed because I'm always wearing a mask. And I figured if I got to wear this freaking mask all the time, why am I shaving my face? What a waste of time. Nobody gets to see my beauty anyhow. So I'm wearing the mask all the time. Why waste the razors? Why waste the time? I'm not shaving no more.
That's cool. Where's Rock and Ron?
I have no idea. He was here. Oh, wait. Oh,
Oh,
there he
here I
is.
am, guys. Sorry I
I
was
like
late.
it. Oh, I
Wow.
like it. That's the best outfit you've worn on this show.
Thank you.
Yeah, you remind me of an Anthrax song or something.
Well, since Aaron's all packered up there, I figured I would come get my stuff
What?
together here.
Did you have
I
to
like
borrow
it.
that from somebody?
His wife.
Actually, that's honestly why I'm a little bit late tonight. Because the wife and I was doing some role playing,
Huh?
and this is actually my village people costume.
Ah, that explains it.
So we just start out with, I ask her if she would like to come to the YMCA, and then she says, "Come here, you macho man." And then once we get started, you can't stop the music.
Oh
I don't
man,
even know what to say.
you went from having my adulation for backing the Chiefs to being completely disappointed in you by then
Uh,
referencing the Village People. Come on.
right, yeah. I feel like Ron and his wife, they do their funky stuff. And they do a little role playing. They want to role play for the Super Bowl, so his wife just takes him and tears him apart and dominates him.
It really hurts you to wear that though, doesn't it? Because
Like,
you're a Broncos fan.
that's the role playing. She demolishes me like the Chiefs do the Broncos right now. Anyways, all
Wow.
right, I'm off.
What the hell?
What an
All right,
outfit.
that's enough of that.
And the Village People references on top of it, man. I don't know.
I'll dress as a construction worker next week, okay?
Mm,
Well, I had to keep it in our wheelhouse,
I guess.
because Village People is certainly a good costume for our rock and metal podcast here, right?
Yeah. That reminds me of when I was playing in a band with my best friend in high school. Remember the AC/DC song 30 Dirty Deeds?
Mm,
So he used to always get lyrics wrong when we would listen to him, and we were at band practice one day taking a break, and Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap comes on the radio, and he thought they were saying 30 Thieves and the Thunder Chief.
wow.
And I told him, I was like, I wanted to rename the band that.
Yeah, that'd be a great band name.
Yeah, and I said, you're the drummer, so you can be the Thunder Chief. You can wear a big headdress. I had it all figured out, and he's like, no, that's lame.
That's not lame. You guys would have been huge. But then, there would have been no Decibel Geek podcast because you'd be some multi-millionaire rock star somewhere now, and none of it would ever happen. So everything happens for a reason, I guess.
Well, we could have the Thunder Chief cast.
Back in my day, we had the Bruce Springsteen, or actually it was the Manfred Mann, but it was originally a Bruce Springsteen song, but the Manfred Mann song, Blinded by the Light.
Oh yeah, that's famous.
And
wrapped up like a douche.
Everybody said, yeah, wrapped up like a douche in the middle of the night.
But isn't that what it sounds like he's saying?
That's what it sounds like, but I
never understood that. I always thought that's what it was, because that's what it sounds like he's saying.
How are you wrapped up like a douche?
What does it mean?
Especially when I got old enough to find out what a douche actually is. Yeah.
He's trying to wrap it up.
So then the real lyrics is rev up like a deuce, like little deuce coupe. Yeah, rev up like a deuce.
Another boner in the night.
Now that makes sense, but hey, we love to get lyrics wrong for years and years, and then even when we get the right lyrics, I'll hear a song that I've been singing the wrong lyrics to for years. And then you find out what the right lyrics are, and then you hear the song, you still can't sing it the right way.
Yeah.
You still always sing it the way you've done for years.
And that's always funny when you have a song like you've known forever, and you've been singing it one way forever, and then one day you find out, wow, I've been wrong on that all along. That's like when we were talking about, what was the Kiss song? Feels So Good to See You, Lucille. And we argued about that, about what it really was, and I don't know if we ever really found out for sure.
I think the main lyrics say "Feel so good to see you receive," but it doesn't.
Yeah, it sounds like receive, but then when I looked up the lyrics, it said Lucille.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah,
Feels so good to see you. Feel so good to see you, Lucille.
I always thought it was receive.
Well, now I'm gonna look it up.
Who knows?
I still don't know.
We still don't know.
Yeah,
that's where the kids got it good today. You can look up websites of the lyrics to just about any song nowadays. We never had that.
We had to look at the
If we was lucky, it would be on the inner sleeve of the album, where it would have the lyrics. But most of the time, we were just guessing.
I was in college, and this was the early days of the internet, so really there wasn't that much you could look up. And me and my best friend in college were having an argument, like the Eddie Money song, "Take Me Home Tonight." Yeah. So it's got Ronnie Spector singing the female part of that song.
Be my little baby.
Yeah, he was like, he kept swearing up and down. He's like, "That's Cyndi Lauper," and I'm like, "It's not Cyndi Lauper. It's Ronnie Spector." And we went to Tower Records to figure it out. Well, and I didn't have to figure it out, but yeah, I proved him wrong on that. And we did that a couple of times with stuff. Yeah. But all right, so I see that our special guest is backstage like we asked him to be, so that's better than some past guests we've had.
That's quick. Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
So give me the thumbs up, guest, if you're ready to come on. No. Okay, no, not ready. And typically a smart ass as usual. Welcome, Jason Bieler.
Hey.
Hello, gentlemen.
How's it going,
What's going on?
Living the dream, man. How about you guys?
Oh,
the same. Good. Same.
Yeah, the same.
Big day for you today. How have you enjoyed it so far?
It's nice. I mean, obviously it's we put a lot of work into it, so it's nice that it's starting to get the feedback so far has been amazing. So it's far better than having it be hated.
Yeah, well, I suppose. Yeah,
that's true. I don't think I've seen anything negative so far. I haven't seen anything negative. It seems like it's praise all the way across the board,
which makes me think it's just a giant make a wish thing for me. Like I've obviously got some kind of fatal disease that no one's informed me about. So it's like everyone's just would you just write a nice review for this guy before he goes off and leaves this existence?
Or it's just a really good record.
One of the two.
One of those.
Which got it yesterday.
Nice.
Outstanding.
Yes. I love the artwork. Who did the artwork on this?
A gentleman that does all my stuff, even all the Photoshop stuff, is Robert Merrick. He's just a genius. But please don't hire him, or I'll have to pay him more, and it'll all work out to my not to my benefit. So.
Well, he did an amazing job on it.
No, he's brilliant, man. He's truly gifted.
So he did stuff like that.
No, that's just me. That was my high school photo.
What about this one?
That's when I was wooing my wife, which was later made into a movie you might have saw.
Yeah, it looked
Nice.
familiar. I don't know. What about this here? Explain this.
That was during the casting for The Shining. They went a different way with the twins, but
Well, I have to say this is much more horrifying than what made the movie.
I thought so. But
Way scarier.
Kubrick, what the hell does he know?
Right.
I didn't know you were so built. I mean, this one was pretty interesting.
Well,
too.
as you know, I really take any role I get seriously. So I prepare diet, strength training, all that stuff.
Spinach, yeah, all that.
Yeah, it looked like you injected the steroids directly into your forearms on that one.
No, it's just a lot of wrist curls.
Yeah.
And then you got through the holidays, I see.
Yes. A DILF on a shelf, as I like to call it.
What are you drinking? I saw you drinking a beer there.
This would be an Asahi Dry.
The Japanese beer?
Yes.
Nice.
Wait, I'm going the wrong way here.
Yeah,
Here
I
we
know
go.
it does.
Oh,
that
wait.
to us, too.
Where we go. They're a sponsor of tonight's program, I'm sure.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we get paid as much as for any other sponsors that we have on the show,
Fantastic.
which is a whole lot of nothing. But
They need to sponsor my Jaeger.
yeah, well, you
Yes,
put
it
them
seems
out
like
of
you have
business.
quite the barrel there of Jaeger.
Yeah, I stock up. It's going to be a long night.
You can't be too
There's the
safe.
bucket. Jaeger bucket.
Oh man.
And I had to go with the backup too, so that my ice doesn't melt.
These are dangerous times. You can't be too safe.
I hope you put on a diaper too, so you don't have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, we're supposed to be wearing pants?
Well, you don't have to. You're the guest.
Okay, I was told this was a top only thing. So.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what
all
I
of us-
understood also.
We're all.
Yeah,
nude
I
from
got
waist
the
down.
bucket down below me too, so
I don't know if I needed to know that.
Ron's got buckets for all occasions.
Well, it's a true professional will not get up during the middle of any kind of podcast.
Right.
Yeah, true professional. That's right.
That sounds right.
I believe Cronkite had a bucket. If it's not very well known, but
Yeah.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, he took a whiz while he
It's
was
not a
announcing
bad idea.
JFK's assassination. I heard
Mm.
because that's important.
The more you know.
The more you know. All right, so are you in Florida or North Carolina these days?
I am in North Carolina.
Well, how do you like it there?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I not that what could possibly be said negative about Florida.
Nothing.
That hasn't been said already.
But yeah, it's awesome here.
Very cool. Oh man.
Right
So
on.
so this thing with Frontiers, is this the first time you've worked with them, right? I mean, how's that experience been with those guys?
So far it's been amazing. I have my own label still, but I wanted to. Well, one, if anything went wrong, I really have a hard time screaming at myself and blaming myself and writing nasty tweets about how I fucked the whole thing up. So that so the idea of doing it with Frontiers, Nick I've been talking to a guy named Nick Teeter there who's amazing,
Yeah.
and we've been talking, and it seemed I just wanted to make sure that they kind of understood what they were getting into. I have a ton of respect for what they've accomplished and their rosters and all that stuff, but I'm not exactly in their wheelhouse, either mentally or musically. But they kind of were talking about how they want to kind of spread their their wings a bit and get involved in different types of stuff. So I was like, cool. And they've kind of let me run around and do my own thing, blissfully creating nonsense, and they've been nothing but supportive. So I hope it remains this way.
Yeah.
It's
Did,
very cool.
So
I like Frontiers.
what
Yeah, they've
was
done a
the-
great job, man. I have to say they've kicked ass. I mean, especially not only all the press stuff has just been really impressive. And the thing that's freaked me out is I've gotten on all these like brand new like mega prog metal Spotify playlists and things like that, which it's like it's a whole new group for me, a whole new group of fans for me, which is awesome because they have no idea what Saigon Kick is. They're like, is that some kind of snack food from the 90s? What is a Saigon Kick?
Yeah. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it does sound delicious, actually.
It was the first energy drink.
If you go to my merch store later, you'll be able to buy yourself a case of the Saigon Kicks. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's been nothing but, you know, I got nothing but positive stuff to say so far.
Right on. Yeah, we just did our top 15 albums of 2020. We always end the year with our like year-end kind of review, and we pick our top 15 favorite albums each. And man, Frontiers dominated the list this year. It's pretty much they do every year. I mean, they got such an amazing roster, and it's cool that you're a part of it now. I dig it.
Yeah, man. I'm like I said, having been in the business for a long time, it is rare that I could sit here on release day and not be screaming about something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they've done a great job. I mean, you guys are in the business. You know what? You know, you've seen a billion releases, and you know how many times it was in this store and they didn't do that, and then you know, so far everything's been great.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What was how long of a process from the beginning of writing for this till today? How long was that process?
I started the record in March of 2020. Writing and everything. So I pulled nothing from demos or anything. I wanted it to be of this time. So I started writing in March, and we were finished with the mixes and everything, and everybody's guesting by May on the record.
That's a quick turnaround.
And a lot of awesome guest stars on that thing too out here.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just don't get. I mean, I figured when we were first talking about doing it, it was towards the end of the year or January, and I said, you know, what I always wanted to do is be able to call up like 20 or 30 of my friends and just say, hey, let's just make a record, or would you be involved in it? Assuming that just due to the nature of everybody's life, like most would say no, or I'm doing this, or I'm on tour, I can't, but 3 or 4 would say yes. Everybody said yes.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool to get to work. I mean, these guys are like heroes, and they're all epic. I mean, I could just literally spend the rest of the evening giving you 20-minute dissertations on each one of their brilliance and careers, and, you know, from Butch Walker to even Clay Cook from the Zac Brown Band, and all the Bumblefoot and David Ellison, and I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It was a dream come true. My whole goal was to make the record with them and just do something that they felt was cool, and I really had no thought about it beyond that. I mean, I wasn't worried about anything else happening. So the fact that it's actually doing well and seems to be taking a life of its own is like just icing on the cake, because I was already like, I already made the check mark, man. I got to make a record with, Devin Townsend.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next project I have, because I wasn't even thinking beyond that, But yeah, it's just, it was definitely a career highlight to work with all these guys.
Right on.
Do you think that this whole COVID thing helped with that?
No, I think because I'm a singular genius of our time, they just jumped at the chance. It would have nothing to do that all touring and recording was canceled, right, and they had nothing better to do.
Nah.
They all just were oh my God, the opportunity to work with the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Bieler.
It's like, thank God there's a pandemic going on that my schedule's so cleared up for this. It's a miracle.
It really is. It's a
silver lining to everything.
Sorry, Jason.
I'm so happy that I got to meet the man before this whole COVID thing happened. When I met you and Jeff Scott Soto out here in Denver.
Oh yeah, that was a blast, huh?
Did an acoustic show, and I put some videos of you guys up on Decibel Geek TV.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Thanks again.
That was a great time. Are you planning on doing anything with Jeff in the future?
Yeah, we're going to do a ton more of that. It was so funny because it started really, Jeff and I, like the whole goal, again, I feel like I've gotten to this point in my life where I'm bumbling my way into amazing things. It was literally like a phone call, like, well, let's just hang out. I was like, Jeff, let's just go to New York and play, and like, let's call Bumblefoot and, have dinner and, go on stage and like, let's try to let's just make jokes. And when the jokes bomb, we'll just do a song, this way. And
that's what I need.
Thank you very much. And all of a sudden, all these, all the shows started doing really well and started selling out. And then Jeff and I had August all booked, which obviously didn't happen. And yeah, it was just such a great time. So we're definitely going to try to do a whole bunch more of those as soon as it's safe for everybody.
Good.
Awesome.
Glad to hear it.
That's cool. And I have the chance to thank you for coming to Rockin' Pod in 2019. It was great having you there at that event, and seeing you on stage. Seeing you on stage with Ellefson was really cool, and then it was cool to see Ellefson appear on this record here. So that was a cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, that was a blast, man. I can't wait for the next one. I assume I am headlining it, is what you told me, and
yeah,
Of course.
I'm being heliported right into from the airport. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm working on your rider, but I don't know where I'm going to find nude photos of B. Arthur, but I'm working on it.
Hey,
I've got some.
I figured you do.
It's a very specific rider.
It's a low rider. All right.
But a bump.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of good response off this album. Everybody seems to be digging it that I've read so far. If things open up the way they think things are going to open up, is there any chance on touring on an album like this? And how do you do that? Do you go put together a band for something like that? Or any thoughts to that?
Yeah, I just talked to. I love saying this; it makes me sound so Hollywood. I just talked to my agent today. Thanks for asking. And what we're going to do is we're going to book for October, November. And moving forward from there, and hope for the best.
Yeah.
I mean, with hopefully with the vaccine and people being a little safer, we can get back to some sense of normalcy. And we're definitely going to tour the record. And what I would hope to do is bring a group of us grizzled veterans combined with a group of brand new fresh blood musicians, where applicable, because obviously everybody on the record can't.
Right.
I think David might have this other band, Megadeth.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Pretty good.
But if he wants to stay playing the small places like that, that's fine. If he wants to miss playing the stadiums with me, that's up to him. But he's obviously, some of these guys have mega things going on. No pun intended. And but a combination of getting them to guest where they can and play where we can and do weeks here and there, and then get a bunch of like brand new musicians. So there's so many brilliant musicians out there. I feel it's, as I don't like to say elder statesman, as a strikingly handsome man who's been in the business for a very long time, I feel it's my responsibility to also help develop the younger kids and give them an opportunity to jump on stage.
It's the right thing for somebody of your stature to do something like that.
I like that you said stature, not age. There'll be a Christmas gift in that for you later.
Awesome.
Stupid question. Have you ever worked with Mike Patton?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a stupid question. Well, I shouldn't say. Well, by worked with him, I'm saying we played a show together.
Oh, okay.
Saigon Kick opened for Faith No More very early on.
Oh.
And my big thrill, I was a big fan, but back from when, this was before the real thing broke. So it was, so it was around that time period. And I knew them from like when we Care a Lot, from the previous singer. So. And we played our set, and then Mike came up to me and was like, "Your guitar tone's wicked." And I was like, I don't think he felt that way probably about Love Is on the Way quite as much. But
you don't think so?
He dug the live show, so that's all that counts.
Right.
I got a compliment out of the guy, and he's not free with them, so.
That's true.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good question.
I was talking about that. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I told him we'd be talking to you tonight, and he said that he thought he read somewhere that at one time, like Marilyn Manson was like a Saigon Kick super fan. Is there anything to that?
Yeah, we were all buddies. I mean, I don't know about super fan, but we all grew up together, and he was a journalist at the local college, and he wrote the first articles that were ever written on Saigon Kick for the college paper and some Miami magazines, and he used to hang out at our rehearsals. And actually on the back of our first record, or in the record, there's a pair of combat boots that are painted with daisies on them, and he had done that. And so, yeah, we all grew up in the same scene at the same time.
That's cool. Right on.
For sure.
But there was no touring with Marilyn Manson later on, I guess. Huh?
No. He was working it was kind of interesting because I remember him vividly, like we were hanging out and he was coming to our rehearsals, and he was working at like a Fox news station in Miami, and he was pulling all these tapes at the time of like the Manson interviews and the different serial killer things. Like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this kind of thing together. And so I remember it from the very infancy of like him going like, hey, this is the concept of what I'm going to try and do.
What kind of a kid was he back then in those days?
I don't want to make this sound like we were friends back then, social. Mm-hmm. He was super smart. I really used to enjoy having conversations with him. I mean, he's not a dumb guy. We've seen each other socially, like in passing over the years at different times, cross paths on like during Ozfest and things like that. But yeah, I mean, he's far smarter than I think people give him credit for.
That's cool. So,
Right on.
To get back to the album a little bit, the ones that stood out for me, I would Bring Out Your Dead. Devin's solo on that is just like otherworldly. I mean, was that like a one take for him?
He did it in the studio in Vancouver. So, but that was the cool thing. I mean, when you work with guys like this, I mean, you don't have to tell Devin. I wanted Devin to do Devin. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I wanted David to play David Ellefson. You know, I'm going to tell the guy that, you know, played the Peace Sells bass line that I grew up listening to do the MTV news break. Yeah. Like, I'm going to tell him what he should, you know. But these guys are such badasses that their parts were all, like, so cool. And then the cool thing is getting to work in this little ecosystem with all of them is, like, you realize how, you know, like, even Clay Cook, who's in the Zac Brown band, he co-wrote John Mayer's first record. Like, they worked together to make that first solo record. Like, they're metalheads. And my buddy Kevin Scott, who played bass on Apology, plays with, like, Jimmy Herring and Wayne Krantz, these underground jazz kind of guys, and also just did the last John McLaughlin tour. So he's like a jazz, comes from that whole part of that, I'd call it that scene, like where David Bowie's Black Star band kind of came from, you know, like that New York underground thing.
Yeah.
And, but he's a massive Maiden fan and Meshuggah fan. And, like, these guys, like, at that level are all just music fans. And it was just every time you'd get something from them, you're like, oh, that's why you're Butch Walker. Yeah. Oh, that's why you're Clint. That's why you're Clint Lowry. You know, that's why you're Kyle Sanders. They're obviously friends, and that was the first instinct. But you really get to have an appreciation of, like, their instincts and how good they are at what they do.
Yeah. But the thing, you've got all these different guests on it, and I'm sure the tracks were done all at different times from different places and everything, but it doesn't sound like that. Like, it really, the whole theme of the record flows good. The sequencing is good. None of the songs really sound out of place. It actually sounds like a really solid concept to me.
I mean, that to me is the thing I'm most proud of, is that I built this ecosystem where you can have this diverse group of musicians contribute and feel like it's a natural thing. Because having guests on a record is not, I'm well aware of the fact that I didn't invent the concept. Right. And also I'm well aware of the fact that most people are like, who gives a shit? You know, it's like, they want to hear a record. I mean, it's nice, and they may look at it at first to go like, oh, cool, you know, I dig that musician that's on it. But beyond that, I mean, I didn't want it to feel like it was shoehorned in, or these were just, oh, I have a famous buddy, let me try to get him on the record. I wanted to make sure that they could do what they do and be recognizable, but kind of fit, never felt like not in place or like forced or you know, that's the beauty of, I think, my mental dysfunction and my diversity, is that, you know, and the fan base I've been so lucky to develop is, like, they really would crucify me if I made a straight record. Yeah. Or if I made just a heavy record, or just a soft record, or if I did a record that was predictable, they'd kill me. Like, they kind of have bought into this, which is a wonderful place to be as a musician. It's like, they want the roller coaster to go off the tracks. And, you know what I mean? They don't want to just have it come the way every other record usually comes. Okay. And that's a great place to be, because it's almost like a dare. Like, they're like, oh, what are you going to do now? Yeah. You know, nice. How are you going to throw us off? You know, and it's kind of like this cool culture. So that to me is like the most fun. It's the most fun musical part of my career right now, is that, like, you know, I literally don't sit there saying, how can I rate a hit? I'm like, I'm going to fuck these people up with some, you know, I'm going to, you know, let's get some weird time signatures. And I'm going to get an Indian choir mixed with a, you know, sound system DJ from Jamaica with what, you know, I mean, it's like, and they're all like, bring it on.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. Oh, yeah, that's rare too, I got to think, because, you know, most bands are going to be like AC/DC fans and say, you know, I like what I like, keep doing what you're doing, don't change it up. And that really opens you wide open.
And to their credit, I mean, how brilliant is AC/DC? And that there's a wonderful thing about knowing that you're going to get an AC/DC record when it's an AC. I mean, you know, I've never been able to do that. I have a great, or the Stones. I mean, the Stones are just, it's always the Stones, man. It's you know, for the most part, Aerosmith, or that's a great thing. I don't think it's a superior thing as anything like that, as much as it's just, as a musician. And I've grown up, like, I think we've talked about it before, but, like, I grew up listening to like everything from like the Beatles to the Fifth Dimension to AM Gold to Miles Davis to Meshuggah to Gojira to Bjork to Tom Waits to Jane's Addiction. And all of these are cornerstones for me. So it's not like one is like I was way more of a Maiden fan than I was a. These are all, and they've all been put in my head over the years and put in this like juice tiger and blended and blended and blended, and it comes out. So I always hear everything. I want to make all that music. I want it all to come out of me somehow.
Right on.
Like I said, if you went in my playlist, I say this all the time. And like, there's literally Barry Manilow next to Meshuggah. And I'm just as happy when either one comes on. I'm like, Mandy, bring it on. Colossus, outstanding. You know, it's like it's all good. There's only two types of music, man. It's good and the other kind.
Yeah. But I still want to say that I like. Well, and let me just the ones that I love so far the most are Stones Will Fly and Anthem for Losers. I think both of those are great. They're all of it's good, but this is one of those records where I can tell my favorites are going to probably rotate because it's one of those albums you need to digest in full multiple times. But I do want to say that it's not a Saigon Kick record, but you can still hear that you were the guy from Saigon Kick in this. Like there's like some of the harmony parts, a few of the riffs and stuff. I can still hear that Saigon Kick sound in it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm proud of what we did as a band, and I think I wrote a lot of that stuff, and my DNA is always going to carry some of that stuff forward. So, that's nothing I'm trying to purposefully hide.
No, yeah.
I don't think you meant it. Like, I'm just saying, like, I think it'll always be there, and it'll always be a part of it. I'm super proud of it, and I hope that's a compliment as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, well, that's what I always loved about Saigon Kick was they were a very identifiable sound compared to a lot of the bands of that era. Like you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, well, you didn't really sound like anybody else. You definitely had your own vibe going.
I think a lot of that. I always make this joke with Soto and stuff like that, like or even Todd Latore who plays drums on Apology, but like those guys are singers, like and whenever I play next to Jeff or we're singing songs together and he starts singing, I'm like, why am I up here? Like what's like I feel like I'm going to get kicked off American Idol or something. It's like okay, but what I do have, I think, is a sound. Yeah. I think I have an identifiable sound, and some of my favorite artists have that, like Perry Farrell or Bjork or Tom Waits or they have a sound that you hear and you're like, oh, that's them. And so I think while I don't have the Jeff Scott Soto I am a Viking power stance thing, I've kind of developed this little ecosystem of my own that I think people can identify with, and that's super cool as well.
Very cool.
Awesome. So, with this album, you've done a lot of press already. I'm glad that we could get you on release day because I think it's cool to have you on the night of release.
I'm so thankful you had me and you invited me.
Well, it's fun, and thanks for doing it. And but before you go, I want to do a thing we do. I'm sure you're more than familiar with Metal Sludge over the years. I like to do this new segment where I rip them off on their 20 questions. I'm just going to be 10 goofy questions for you. You game for it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to have good answers. So I want to apologize in advance for the lack of entertainment.
Well, don't worry because they're not very good questions.
Yeah, they're not good questions, so it's fine.
Okay, I will try.
So
I'll do my best.
We'll do this, and then you'll play me and Beat the Geek after that. So we'll do some trivia.
Good. So I can really we had such a positive beginning of the show. We can just train wreck this from this point forward.
Yes, that's the whole idea.
Yeah, that's
fantastic.
That's the
awesome
concept of the show.
Works every time.
Okay. All right. So, I should do the little. Of course, you got to have fancy graphics when you do stuff like this. So there's.
Even my dog is in the studio lounge barking to try to warn me not to do this.
Yeah, don't do it. It's a trap.
All right, lightning round ridiculousness with Jason Bieler. Question 1: gun to your head. You have to choose between watching one of the two. Ernest Saves Christmas or 100% Real Swingers Tennessee starring Phil Varone?
No.
I'm going to go Ernest's version of the swinging movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a sick puppy.
I had to ask him earlier. I was like, is that a real title?
I have no idea if you're pranking me or, but,
Look,
drummers.
What are you talking about, Vern?
Sometimes I have to go to my personal collection to get these questions, so that'll answer the
fair enough.
question. All right. Next
You
question.
knew a little too much information, by the way. I just want to say I'm not trying to cast any negativity your way, but that was a little too detailed.
Well, yeah, you're getting to know me a little better in the process, so.
It can't get worse than that. It can't get worse than that start. So
Whether you like it or not.
That's probably the roughest question. All right, question 2. If you could file one of your songs, Saigon Kick or otherwise, in a bin called "Songs That Fucking Suck," what would it be?
wow. Let's pick on "Love Is on the Way" because it killed hair metal. It killed hair metal. When that song came out, it was the last ballad, and I put every other band that was doing glam metal and hair metal out of business after that. Yeah. But by doing that, I created grunge. So I think by tanking the entire hair metal movement, am the reason why Nirvana, Alice in Chains had a career. So Dave Grohl can thank me for everything that happened to him post my tanking of the hair metal movement.
It makes so much sense when you put it like that.
But that being said, got a nice house.
Yeah.
So how bad can the song be, right?
I await the Foo Fighters Jason Bieler tour in the future. I look forward to that.
Right.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That was my introduction to Saigon Kick, was my buddy coming to me with the Lizard and going, "You got to hear this album." Me going, no, I've already heard that band. I'm not interested. And him going, no, you got to hear the rest of the album. Going, no, I'm good. I heard that song on MTV. I'm fine. And then him finally making me listen to the rest of the album, me going, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. And loving Saigon Kick after that. But it took him to force me beyond Love Is On, It's On the Way.
I tell you, it was a lot of fun playing to hordes of soccer moms shortly after that song peaked, and like just the rest of the set being there, they just like a car crash on. Like,
what happened?
That's not the same. But yeah, like I said, man, I always like ballads, so I don't make apologies for it.
Right.
It was never intended to be released. It was actually an accident that it even became a hit. We were in Mexico shooting a video for Hostile Youth, and a station in Florida just started playing the hell out of it, and it blew up. It literally was like selling 10,000 records a week off this one station playing it, and It just exploded from there. But I mean, I had to develop a lot of cardio just to be able to get to the end of my driveway to get my royalty checks.
And then drag them all the way back. Yeah.
Exactly. That's not easy, man.
Oh my God, that
you want to talk about credibility? I mean, at one point I was so upset I contemplated going home and jumping off my wallet.
Wow. That's awesome.
All right. Next question. Ginger or Marianne?
Marianne.
Okay. Everybody says Marianne. All right. Rate these guitarists on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being abysmal and 10 being godly.
Not going to happen.
Richie Blackmore.
Not going to happen.
Oh, come on.
Brilliant. Brilliant, but you're going to set me up to try to get me to get somebody gets a 0. And then for the rest of the week, all I'll see is Bieler calls such and such guitar player.
Yeah.
Nobody pays attention to this show.
Yeah, that's famous last word. That's the line they feed you right before they snip your words.
Yeah.
So what do you really think?
Gonna miss these.
But Richie Blackmore is amazing, a legend.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
CC DeVille.
Super nice guy and a great. I mean, those parts are cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think CC DeVille's horribly underrated.
Yeah, those parts, it's a fun rock band.
You don't have to do 1 to 10. Just tell us your thoughts.
Okay.
Mick Mars.
I mean, those riffs are legendary. I mean, who didn't love those records?
And I'm not trying to get you to give anybody.
You are, and I'm not going to do it. So. Think of this as a fist of positivity. Every time you throw a name at me, I'm just coming back with I love it.
CC DeVille's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
How about Chris Czynszak?
He's never heard me.
You hear his guitar playing?
You can give me a 0. I'll tell you that.
I know.
All right.
Got a hell of a personality.
Thanks. Alan Holdsworth.
I mean, a pioneer of his greatness will not be realized for years to come.
Okay. Tracy Guns.
Really good. The funny thing is, I was never that aware of him until, I knew LA Guns and but I was never paying attention, and that's my own fault. But as of late, I've seen a lot of the stuff he's done, and he is far better than he gets credit for.
Yeah.
Way
Very good
better.
player.
Tracy Guns is one of the best, I think.
Yeah, man, he's great. Great rock player.
All right. Question 5. Give us a memory of the following cities. Miami. Just first thing that comes to mind.
I just think of like, wow, that's such a hard thing to say because Miami is literally like the wackiest place on earth. It's like somewhere between Vegas and the south of France, but full of Russians and South Americans.
That's a good answer.
I'll agree with that.
And just extra beyond silly hot. And I never felt comfortable because everyone always looks so great and cool in the Miami Vice kind of white billowy shirts, and I was always drenched in sweat. And I never could understand how all these beautiful people could walk around the streets never sweating.
Right.
So that's it's not an amusing anecdote, but it's just my recollection.
You never seen me walking around on South Beach then?
No, I have not.
So you didn't grow up in Florida?
I grew up in New York originally.
Oh, okay.
And I moved to Florida when I was like 10 or 11. So I was there for the entire disastrous growth of the insanity that the state became. Like South Beach, when I first moved there, it was literally like a retirement area. Like you could have bought any of those like little buildings on South Beach for like $100,000.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then shortly thereafter, not so much.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about Nashville?
I love Nashville. I haven't spent much. I mean, I played there a bunch of times and I've kind of gone through in passing. I have a lot of friends there now, especially.
Yeah.
But I haven't spent enough time to really give you a fall in love with the city kind of thing. The people I've met have been awesome. Obviously, the Rockin' Pod was a highlight of my entire life. Just getting to meet you, and be a part of it was stunning. So that was the most time I actually spent on the ground in Nashville, not like just waking up in the back of a venue doing a show and leaving.
Right.
And Rockin' Pod, that is the correct answer. Very good.
That is
you
the
got
correct
that
answer.
one.
But obviously the musical output of that city is just off the charts.
Yeah.
What about Charlotte?
I love Charlotte, man. Love it. Charlotte, Raleigh, Asheville.
Yeah.
Awesome places, I'm when I moved, I was like, I'm not going to Nashville because everybody is going to Nashville.
Right.
And also they didn't have a hockey rink in Asheville. So I decided, we live south of Charlotte and this area's got everything, man. I love it. You're close to the mountains, close to the water. People are great. You can drive anywhere you want to go.
Cool.
It's a great area.
Nice.
Los Angeles.
Love it. People hate it. I love it.
Cool.
I mean, I guess that's because of all the time I spent starring in ER. I get a lot of preferential treatment as as George Clooney's stunt double. So I get into all the restaurants really easily. But no, I love it out there. People who say they hate it either A, have zero money to enjoy it, which is a fair enough point.
Yeah.
Or haven't spent any real time out there.
Yeah. Okay, this is a weird one for.
Hey, what
number
about
6.
Denver?
Oh,
I love Denver, man. That was a blast. And I've been there before, obviously, too. It's a beautiful city.
Same answer as Nashville? Best time of your life meeting me there?
Well, no, yeah, it was absolutely a stunning moment for me. I mean, the two things come to mind when I think of Denver. One is we
Thank you.
as a young member of a successful rock band early on in my career, I was given the privilege of having a very large cash publishing advance. So I did as any bright young man would do. I invested it in extremely heavy duty fireworks, and then woke up a couple of days later, and we were in Denver, and we decided to go hike up a mountain and light them off. To which we were later told was an idiot move because we were in an avalanche zone.
Oh.
So that's the kind of genius you're working with here.
Right on.
Perspective.
So I wasn't going to.
What about Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Anything from Wisconsin?
Love it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madison, Green Bay, awesome places. Any place that's that cold for that long and the people stay there, there's got to be something to them.
There must be a reason.
They're just a hardy people.
Very cool.
And Rock and Roll Podcast, Chicago. What about Chicago?
Oh man, come on. It's hard to compete with Chicago, man. The food, the people, the city. It's awesome, man. Jeff and I had a couple of blasts. I mean, I've gone there all the time, but even as recently as last year, Jeff and I were there. Shows were sold out. People go mental. any city, I gauge its intelligence and its lovability by its love for me and Jeff.
Yeah.
So clearly, Chicago has an unbelievable IQ, and the people just understand music on a high level.
There you go.
Now I got everybody asking all these cities. Montreal.
I was in Montreal, very young. Saigon Kick Band played there, and I did like it very much, and I'm looking forward to coming back.
Cool. All right, so here's this is
We can just go through the entire planet if you want.
No,
Let's
no,
get the
no,
slow down.
Saskatoon.
Nairobi.
Nairobi. Oh, man.
We'll just start spinning. We'll call this segment "Spinning the Globe."
All right, how about this one? For $500,000, would you be the clown chased by Brahmin bulls in the rodeo? Only there are no other clowns to distract the enraged bulls, nor anything to hide in. When you've successfully outrun 5 bulls for 3 minutes each, you get $500,000.
Dude, I'm in the music business. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
That's a perfect description. I do that
You just
on the
described the
regular.
first 20 years of my career.
Outrunning Brahmin bulls.
The fastest clown at the rodeo.
Okay. All right, here's a which do you prefer? Owl stretching or DDP yoga?
I fear asking what DDP yoga is, but I can only assume.
Yoga started by Diamond Dallas Page, who was a wrestler.
Oh, okay. And the other was owl stretching.
Owl
Right?
stretching, yes.
What the hell is owl stretching?
It was one of his old.
That's the whole point of naming it that. Owl stretching was I was doing a bunch of demos, and I thought, hey, how can you make it even harder to sell music? Why don't you name it this thing owl stretching? And owl stretching was originally going to be the name for the Monty Python TV show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was originally going to be called Owl Stretching Time. And I just thought the concept of owl stretching was just so, I loved it. And the fact that it made everybody go, what the
Yeah.
made me even happier.
Wow. Okay, well, it works.
so-
It still works to this day, apparently.
It does create the desired.
Well, I had to throw it into a yoga question because I didn't know what it was.
I think we could combine the two into some kind of hot yoga with
Uh-huh.
stretching of owls, and I think we'd clean up the marketplace. Be like the Billy Bank or whatever is of flexible older people.
It's your next project.
There you go.
All right. Tom DeFile or Chris McLernan?
Chris McLernan or Tom DeFi. I will not do that.
Okay.
But anybody who knows me knows the answer.
Okay. Roxgang or Kick Tracy?
I can't say I'm super familiar with either.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say, I mean, like I'm aware of them, obviously.
Yeah.
But to rate one above the other would be a lie. And as you know, I'm a man of the people. I will not lie.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Tom Hazard or David Ellefson?
Aren't they the same person?
Pretty much.
There's no
Well, they
better
come
answer
together.
than that.
It's a package deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's-
When one sleeps, the other one arises. It's like
That's the greatest answer ever. Okay. And the last one of this one, Matt Kramer or Calculus?
what is calculus?
Something very difficult to deal with.
Oh, calculus. You mean the math calculus?
Yes.
Okay. Look, it's no secret. There may be some strained relationships in the Saigon Kick camp, and a lesser man may take that bait and try to say negative things. I will say Matt is a very talented man, and I wish him no ill. But calculus.
Okay. All right. This section's called the last.
I got a quick question to add to that.
Yeah.
If Frontiers came around tomorrow and they said, here is a check, we're going to just write it out to whatever it's got to be, do you think there could ever be a Saigon Kick tour?
Not in my current mental state is that something I would remotely entertain. I wish them all well. They can carry on and do whatever they need to do. We tried it, and it just wasn't really beneficial. I'm sure they would all maybe in different ways say the same thing. And I'm having so much fun now And life's too short kind of mindset of like, for not being positive and happy. I wish them to do things that make them happy and positive. So yeah, there is an amount of money that would make me want to do it. I mean, who knows what the world is a weird place, and who knows what time does. And, so I'm not one of those ones who puts down the gauntlet. So, but yeah, I have zero interest in pursuing that at this point.
Gotcha.
I guess you can never say never, but I mean, you're doing just fine on your own, brother.
I'm a mega star. I've been saying it for years.
Yeah, it's about time the rest of us start to realize it, I think.
I always say that I never wanted to be like a 70-year-old guy playing some kind of crappy club in front of 4 people where everyone's going like, this dude is so credible. He's got so much cred. Like that was never like in the plan. So hopefully the record does really well and we can continue on because I like 5-star hotels and nice food.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So the last of Jason Bieler, last food you ate.
I ate sushi not long before we were coming on the air.
All right.
I apologize if that's.
No, we don't have the technology for that.
I don't know what this Zoom spangled stuff, whatever it is. It's a
last CD you listened to besides your own.
I've been listening to a lot of a band called Yaga Jazzists, which is out of Norway, which is amazing. Listen to Snarky Puppy a lot. I've been listening to the Opeth. The last Opeth record I think is brilliant. I can't even pronounce the name. It's in a coward Venom or something like that. Brilliant. Devin Townsend's Empath is great. I thought it was really a pretty impressive record. A guitar player, I think he's from Poland, Jakub Zajtecki. Brilliant young player doing some really cool, innovative stuff. There's so much amazing music out there right now. It's the best time ever.
Yeah. Last TV show you watched?
The last thing I really fell in love with was a show called Toast of London, which is on Netflix. And it was a big hit in the UK, but you can find it on Netflix here. And the best point of reference I would have you seen What We Do in the Shadows here?
No.
The vampire kind of takeoff show.
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
One of the guys in that, but it's literally the funniest thing I've seen since Monty Python.
Cool.
Check
if you're into that kind of humor.
Yeah.
I love British humor. Last, it's hard for everybody to remember. What last concert you actually attended?
Was Devin Townsend.
Oh. Okay.
Or it was either Devin Townsend or Queensryche with Todd LaTorre. They both came right as the pandemic was like, it was literally like that week where everyone was like, we're going home.
Yeah.
So one of those two.
And last time you listened to Saigon Kick?
I really never listened to it. And even in the acoustic show sense, I kind of reinvent the stuff. So I don't even remember how the songs go the way they were supposed to go. Not because it's a disrespect thing. I'm kind of always focusing on what I'm doing next or where I'm going or trying to create something new. So I haven't hit that point where I sit back and reflect on the older stuff. But anytime someone online mentions like, oh, I love this record or I love that record or or whatever. I mean, it's an awesome thing, and I'm aware of what the songs roughly are, but I don't really listen to it, if ever.
Yeah.
If it comes on, I turn the channel.
Heard this too many times.
And the last one, in a perfect world, if everything goes back to normal, you could tour this record. This is a real big hypothetical. What artist, living or dead, would you want to tour the album with?
Minnie Pearl.
I could see
that would draw in Nashville for sure.
I think it would be big.
Yeah.
I'm all about the mashup.
That's a good mashup.
That's a hell of a mashup.
I would expect no less of an answer from you. Like
you
that.
get her out on stage with you to do the old duet on "Love Is on the Way."
You talk about a pit. That pit would be legit.
Dangerous.
All right. Well, that's what I have for the ridiculousness, and now it's time for.
It definitely was. It lived up to the name.
All right, Aaron, it's in your hands.
Now, I'm sure it's going to be all cut down to like Bieler slams ex-Saigon Kick member says old records suck, and
I'm already working on the press release.
All right, good.
Blabbermouth headline: Jason Bieler thinks Minnie Pearl's still alive. That
is better than Matt Kramer.
Yeah. would rather tour with Minnie Pearl,
Minnie Pearl. That's how
than reunite with Saigon Kick.
That is a.
Now that's a headline. We're writing it
for
for them.
that'll be the week. That'll be my weekend. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
You're gonna get all kinds of new likes from Minnie Pearl fans, though, so it'll even itself out.
I'm sure her fans are quite active on social media. So
Very
All the Minnie Pearl fans that watch this show.
Yeah. I'm actually on this out of the corner of my eye. My likes are just blowing up.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
nice. That's the idea. So you want to do some Beat the Geek, guys?
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, I'm terrible at trivia. So I mean,
then this is going to go fantastic.
this is going to go worse than the previous thing did. I really felt so good at the beginning. Like I felt like we started so strong, and I can just sense
Oh, that was fun.
I feel like that plane in Lost.
We got to bring it. That's the thing. That's the whole idea of the show. You start out nice and high, then you bring it down as low as you can possibly get it, and then we'll end it out on a high note.
All right, I'm
And
counting on someone to
everyone
bring
will
this thing.
totally forget the rest of the
I'm just about to grab my oxygen mask here, so someone help turn this plane around.
Well, let Aaron do that.
All right, Ron, hit the music. It's Beat the Geek. It's the rock and roll trivia show, the greatest game show of all time, right here on the Decibel Geek podcast. We do Friday Night Live. We got two contestants. We got the geek, Chris Sinzak, and his challenger this week, the one and only Jason Bieler. I've got 11 questions, because this is the show that goes to 11, and they're all about rock and roll. The way it works is we'll start out with Chris. He's the geek. I'm going to ask him a question. I'm going to have 4 choices. Before I give him the 4 choices, I'm going to ask Jason if he wants to bet against him or if he wants to not bet against him, and the points will line all up. So I don't have no – wait, maybe I do.
I'm literally like the worst rock and roll trivia player that you've ever had on the show. I just want to preface this by that. Like, there is not going to be one question you ask where I'm going to be like remotely in, I couldn't even answer trivia about my own record.
Oh, no.
It is multiple choice though.
Yeah, it's multiple choice. You
All
might
right,
be able to figure it
I'm
out.
telling you, I'm going to give you my best, but I just want to like warn people who are like, this is going to be a battle of wits. It's just not.
Yeah, but
All right, Ron, if you're keeping track back there, I don't have a pen, so you're going to have to keep track of score for us.
Oh, now we're really going off the rails.
Or give me 1 second. Let me go grab a pen. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
So prepared.
I'll bring Ron back in. But I've got to.
I got a Decibel Geek TV pin here.
Yeah.
I can do it.
All right. All right. So, Jason, as you see, Ron kind of likes Kiss if you look behind him there.
It looks at me too. The first record I ever heard was Destroyer.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you. Me too.
Did you see them back in the heyday?
No.
It's a good thing this show is live.
Exactly.
So spontaneous. All right, it's time for Beat the Geek.
All right.
I've got score paper. Here we go. First question goes to the geek. As always, that's Chris. And it goes like this.
Always.
After AC/DC released their highest charting album, Back in Black, in 1980, they would go on to release 4 more albums in the 80s. Which one charted the lowest on the U.S. Billboard album charts? So we're looking for the least popular album by AC/DC in the 80s. So, Jason, do you think he knows it, or do you want to bet against him?
I have no clue what the answer could possibly be. I'm going to say Sweet Home Alabama and call it a night as the champion, ladies and gentlemen.
No, this is you're deciding if I know it or not.
Yeah, you got to decide if you want to bet against Chris or not.
He looks like, I mean, he's called the geek for a reason, so I'm going to say he knows it.
Okay, you're not being bet against, Chris. Your choices are For Those About to Rock, Flick of the Switch, Fly on the Wall, or Blow Up Your Video. Which was the least popular in the United States of those 4 albums?
My gut tells me it's Flick of the Switch.
That is incorrect. It was actually Fly on the Wall. Those About to Rock, this was interesting. You know, Back in Black in the U.S. only went to number 4.
Yeah, For
But
Those About to Rock was number 1.
The follow-up, For Those About to Rock, went to number 1. Flick of the Switch, 15. Blow Up Your Video, 12. But Fly on the Wall only reached 32, which back then, you know, that's still money.
Still like the album, though.
But you were not bet against. You got it wrong.
Yeah.
No points awarded. The next question goes to Jason Bieler. According to the band's official website, Aerosmith bassist Tom Hamilton's favorite Aerosmith song comes from this album. So, Chris, I'm going to give him 4 albums to choose from. Jason's got to figure out which one holds Tom Hamilton's favorite song by his own band, Aerosmith. Do you think he knows it, or do you want to bet against him?
I'm going to say that he knows it.
All right, Jason, you're not being bet against. Tom Hamilton's favorite song by Aerosmith, did it come from the album Night in the Ruts, Done with Mirrors, Toys in the Attic, or Just Push Play?
I'm going to say Toys in the Attic, but
That is incorrect.
Oh, I should have bet against him.
Believe it or not, it comes from Just Push Play. It's a song called The Farm.
Oh, God.
Tom Hamilton's favorite song. Yeah, that's weird.
we're off to a cracking start
Listen,
here, boy.
you guys
Yeah.
are killing it. No
We both
points
suck so
awarded.
far.
Score remains 0-0. Question goes back to the geek.
Yeah.
Famous Led Zeppelin producer Andy Johns has produced albums by all of the following bands except, I'm going to list 4 bands. Andy Johns has produced 3 of them, but not the 4th. Jason, do you think he knows it, or do you want to bet against him?
I'm going to say he knows it.
All right, you're not being bet against, Chris. The bands I'm going to list, Andy Johns produced 3 of them, but not the 4th. Which one? LA Guns, Godsmack, Humble Pie, or Quiet Riot?
Quiet Riot.
That is correct.
Oh, that was a total guess.
Yeah, he produced Waking the Dead for LA Guns. He produced Godsmack 4 and Humble Pie's, I think, first 2 albums. But no Quiet Riot. So you got it right. You were not bet against. 1 point awarded. Yeah, now things are getting exciting, huh? Question goes back to Jason. In 1972, this famous guitarist jumped up on stage as a surprise guest player during a Chuck Berry show at the Hollywood Palladium, to which Chuck would immediately have him removed from the stage. Chris, I'm going to give Jason 4 choices. Legendary rock guitarist. Do you think he knows who Chuck Berry said, get off my stage to?
Yeah.
All right, you're not being bet against. Your choices are Keith Richards, Leslie West, Eric Clapton, or Steve Marriott.
I have no idea. I mean, I know he did the movie with Keith Richards, but that doesn't mean Chuck would throw anybody off the stage.
True.
Steve Marriott.
That is incorrect. It actually was Keith Richards. He kicked him off the stage because he didn't recognize him. And later on said, geez, if I'd have known it was Keith Richards, if you guys would have told me, I wouldn't have kicked him off the stage for playing too loud.
See?
Chris did not bet against you. No points awarded. Score remains 1-0. Geek in the lead.
This game is getting to the fevered pitch right now.
Yeah, it's a slow burn. We'll get there. Question goes back to Chris. Mark Bolan of T-Rex lived with this phobia. You know, Mark Bolan had a phobia? He did. He lived with it his whole life. Jason, do you think Chris knows what it was?
Yes.
All right, Chris, you're not being bet against. Mark Bolan's phobia, was it arachnophobia, distichophobia, thalassophobia, a leporiphobia?
I have no fucking idea. The last one. I don't even know how to say it.
The fear of rabbits? No, that's incorrect.
That's a great fear, though.
Thalassophobia is the fear of drowning. Arachnophobia, fear of spiders. Distichophobia is the fear of dying in a car accident. And how ironic, he lived with that his whole life as his phobia. And in the end, Mark Bolan died in a car accident.
That's kind of fucking creepy.
That is weird, isn't it?
I still like the fear of rabbits. I'm still stuck on that. I haven't moved on.
Leporiphobia. If you need to look that up.
That's going to be the next record. It'll be the
I was
Baron
just
Von
gonna
Bielski and the leporophobia.
Yeah, the
Fear of rabbits,
the
yeah.
next album title.
All right, well, you got it wrong, but you weren't bet against, so we move on. Score remains 1-0.
Just want
right,
you
Jason.
to know I'm keeping score real well here.
Okay, good. Yeah, I know
You're
it's a
making
lot.
it easy for me. Thank
It's not
you.
too hard, is it?
I ask a lot of you, Ron. I'm glad you're there for me.
I've got it handled, guys.
Right.
All right, Jason, back to you. All of the following bands were formed in 1986, except I'm going to list 4 bands. 3 of them were formed in 86. 1 was not. Chris, do you think he'll get this one, or do you want to bet against him?
I'll bet against him this time.
Finally, the stakes are now high. Points are on the line. All formed in 86 except choices are Faster Pussycat, Sacred Reich, Alice in Chains, and Gwar.
I want to say Alice in Chains, but it's going to be wrong.
Then don't say it.
I mean, I might as well say it because it's going to be wrong no matter what I say. But Alice in Chains, the other one, I mean, Faster Pussycat seems like they would have been around then. Sacred Reich would have been maybe earlier, it feels like. I'm going to go Alice in Chains, but I have no idea.
That is incorrect. Faster Pussycat, Sacred Reich, and Alice in Chains all formed in 1986. Gwar was formed 2 years earlier in 1984. Chris bet against you. You got it wrong, so Chris gets the point. We're up 2-0.
You guys sure you don't want to book another guest at this point? I mean,
These are fun.
People like this, Jason, I promise.
Hey, don't worry, brother. Only one more question until the kiss round, and that's where all the points are on the line.
All right. And I'll screw that up, too, just to...
All right, one more for Chris
Aren't you-
before we get there.
You're so glad you came on tonight, I'm sure.
What happened to Iron Butterfly bassist Philip Taylor Kramer in 1995? Something crazy happened. What happened to that guy in 95? Jason, do you think Chris knows the answer to this?
I'm not going to bet against him.
Okay.
You can get points
You're-
if you do, and I get it wrong, though.
You're not being bet against, Chris. Philip Taylor Kramer was the bass player in Iron Butterfly in 1995. Did he win the lottery, disappear, found Pixar, or was he executed?
It was executed.
That is incorrect. The bass player from Iron Butterfly disappeared in the California desert in 1995. They didn't find his body till 1999. It's a crazy story. You might look that one up. Wow. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, but have you ever met a bass player?
Yeah. How many of them disappear in the desert? I do not even know.
Yeah, right. I mean, who knows? The desert's full of wandering bass players.
Well, you got it wrong, but you weren't bet against. No points awarded. Remains 2-0. All right. But now it's time for the kiss round. Double the point. That's right.
You have entered the Psycho Circus. Welcome to the show.
Wow.
You know who that is?
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Rock and Ron Runyon, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, first question, the kiss round, and it goes to Chris.
All right.
When he was 30 years old, Paul Stanley had reconstructive surgery on his right ear. His ear was reconstructed using this substance. Double the points. It could be a lot. Could put you right back into this game, Jason. You want to bet against him, or do you think he knows how they fixed Paul Stanley's ear?
I think he knows.
All right, he is a huge Kiss nerd. Chris Sinzak, did they fix Paul Stanley's ear using rubber, mouse DNA, cartilage from his own ribs, or a monkey's knuckle? It's hard to say.
All of those sound like completely silly answers.
A monkey's knuckle.
Cartilage from his ribs?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. They used cartilage from his own ribs to reconstruct his ear. It is the kiss round. You got it right. You weren't bet against, but you still get 2 points. Man, oh man, here we go. 4-0. The Geek takes the lead. And in the kiss round, the question now goes back to Jason Bieler. What was the name of the character played by Gene Simmons in the 1986 movie Trick or Treat? Chris, do you think he knows the answer, or do you want to bet against him?
He seems like a movie fan from that era, so I'm not going to bet against him.
All right, Jason, you're not being bet against. Gene Simmons played a character in the movie Trick or Treat in 1986. Was the name of that character Sammy Kerr, Nuke, Charles Luther, or Malak Al-Rahim?
Jesus. Like, I remember the Luther one, but that's from the movie with Magnum PI that I'm totally getting confused with this movie.
All right.
There was a movie, remember the one with the little
Little robot spiders. Yeah, so you can mark that one
Luther
off.
in that, so that's not it.
Okay.
Sammy Kerr was the guy, the rock star guy, so it's not that.
Yeah. So that leaves Nuke and Malak Al-Rahim.
I'm going to have to say Nuke just because I'm going to lose, so I'll just say Nuke.
That is correct.
Oh.
You got one right, and it's in the kiss round, so it's double the points. You're bringing it back.
Take that, geek.
2 points. You got it. Nuke the DJ. Man, I love that movie.
He's great in that movie.
All right, so we got 2 more questions left. And these are going to be Facebook popularity contests. The first one is drummers. According to their official Facebook pages, which of these drummers, based on the number of followers to them pages, is the most popular? Chris, I'm going to ask Jason. I'm going to list for Jason 4 drummers. He's got to figure out who's most Facebook popular. Do you think he knows it, or do you want to bet against him?
I'd say he knows it.
All right, Jason, you're not being bet against. Who's most Facebook popular amongst these drummers? Is it Greg Bissonette, Charlie Benante, Steven Adler, or Matt Cameron?
Charlie Benante.
That is incorrect.
That's who I would have.
As a matter of fact, Charlie Benante is the least popular, according to their
Pretty
Facebook
active on
likes.
social
This is starting to really develop a narrative about why my career's gone the way it has.
I don't know any of these people. I only know Gene Simmons' character from a movie. No, actually, Charlie Benante's got 60,000 followers. Matt Cameron from Pearl Jam's got 63. Greg Bissonette's got 125.
Wow.
But Steven Adler from Guns N' Roses, 351,000 followers on Facebook.
Yeah, but 120,000 of them are from Guam.
Yeah, that may be true.
I didn't even know Steven Adler knew what Facebook was personally, but
Yeah, apparently he must use it. He's got a lot of followers.
wow. All right.
All right, Chris did not bet against you, but you didn't get it right. No points awarded. Score remains 4-2. Got one last question left, just for fun.
He froze
Just
up.
guess you can't win this one. It's going to be a Facebook popularity contest with singers. So I'm going to list for Chris 4 singers, well-known. He's got to figure out who's the most Facebook popular. Jason, you might as well finally bet against him. What have you got to lose? You can't even win.
I'm going to take your advice.
All right. So, Chris, you are being bet against. And the choices are Vince Neil, Dee Snider, Billy Gibbons, or Sammy Hagar. Who is the most Facebook popular?
Probably Dee Snider.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
Yeah, you got it wrong. Jason bet against you. You brought it back within one. Let's see. Billy Gibbons has got 190,000 followers. Vince Neil has 322,000. 322,000. Dee Snider's got 485,000. Sammy Hagar, 839,000 Facebook followers, making him the most Facebook popular out of that group. But like I said, you brought it back within one. Jason Bieler, you lost. You put up an effort.
Miserable fight.
An effort. But it's tough to beat the geek, and that's why it's called that. Not bad, though.
Not bad.
Well, you know,
Not bad.
thanks for bringing shame to my evening. It's been a really positive day otherwise. I mean, everything's been going my way, and then
I was going to say, don't worry about the last half an hour, man. You've got an awesome new album coming out. People are listening to this right now, finding out about it for the first time. They're out there ordering it. There it is. Jason Bieler and the Baron
Quiet
Von
people.
Bielski
You sure
Orchestra.
you don't want to kick me in the nuts before I leave? I mean, we could just end it on a positive, like groin kick would be good if you like. Or
No,
I think we'd rather
wanna promote the
bask
record.
in the awesomeness of this new album.
I'm just kidding, man. Thanks
It
so
is.
much, guys. Seriously, for having me. It's anytime, any place I can spend the evening with you fine gentlemen, and I say that loosely.
Thank you.
It's just it's an absolute treat, and you've always been so supportive. So I cannot wait for us to be doing this kind of stuff in person soon.
Yeah.
Well, we'll plan to see you in August at Rockin' Pod.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Me
Awesome.
too.
Great.
I can't wait.
Thanks again for being a good sport about this and taking the
Oh,
time
please.
to deal with all with our silliness.
No, please, my pleasure, man. Thanks so much for having me, and continued success to you fellas.
And
Awesome.
JasonBieler.com,
best place to go to find out all the information or social
Yes,
media.
I was very creative and named all my social medias Jason Bieler this time versus owl stretching because I figured that didn't go so well.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
people
can't
go
believe
buy the
owl
record.
stretching wasn't taken.
I thought it was going to be the one. I thought it was right next to Katy Perry. I thought it was going to happen, but
Yeah.
All right. Well, the album's great, and thanks for taking the time tonight. And we'll be in touch with you soon. Okay.
hey guys, thanks so much again, seriously, and thanks to everybody who's supporting the record and and supporting music in general, man. I mean, it just shows you this has been such an interesting year or year and a half now, whatever it is. It just shows you how important all music and all bands and all venues and all podcasts and Netflix and people who are being creative, how important that is to all of us because I wouldn't have been able to survive it personally without great shows and things to entertain people. So kudos to you guys for bringing some smiles to people every week.
All right. Thanks again, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank you,
Jason.
guys.
Thanks.
All right.
Well, you finally won one, Chris.
What did I tie last time? Is that what I did?
Yeah, last time was a tie,
Yeah. Not bad.
but you finally won.
Beat the Geek rematch for Rock and Roll. Oh,
No,
I
not
don't think
going to
he's drunk
happen.
enough. He's got to drink more for that. He
Yeah, I
needs
got
two
to
buckets.
drink a lot more for that.
As long as we don't do it WWE style again.
So I didn't get to ask when we started this. I know we had some problems with the Facebook last week. Is this exclusively on Decibel Geek TV on the YouTube right now, or are we also on Facebook?
Now, right now, we're just on YouTube because of the.
All right. And there was some question as to why that is, and I did a little digging and I wanted to find out why. Why are we not on Facebook? What's going on? And what had happened was I found out what really happened, Chris, and it turns out you actually were at a protest last week. Yeah, that's right. And I've got the photo evidence. Ron, let's see it.
Oops.
Bring it up. I want to see the photo evidence. Chris Sinzak got us booted off of Facebook for
What?
protesting last. There it is. There's Chris.
Oh,
I don't
my
know if
God.
that's at the Capitol or not, but he was out there protesting last week. Got us kicked off of Facebook. Can you believe it? What a shame.
Sorry, it's all your fault.
I'd protest myself if that were true.
Make Nickelback great somehow.
That's not cool, man.
Kristen Zach loved
You did it.
Nickelback.
It's like I make a few snide comments on Nickelback in 2011, and I really haven't said anything since.
Oh,
That shit
sure you
never
have.
died.
Oh, so you just do it in secret, so you don't tell us about what you're doing on the weekends to get us booted off of Facebook.
It wasn't me.
Uh-huh.
And everyone just laps it up. Oh, I guess that's better than the. It's like that and the Juice Newton thing just never dies.
And why would it? And how should it? It shouldn't.
Oh boy,
You have to live with the consequences of your choices, young man.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody got kicked off.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
don't
you were at the Nickelback protest
The thing
along
is,
with Chris Sinzak.
they were making it out like this morning it would have been the end of it, and then I tried to make it a destination today for Facebook, thinking it was over, and now it says I'm banned until Sunday now. So I guess they keep extending it. Just I start a couple of
weird.
neo-Nazi groups, and then they get all pissed off. I don't get it.
Neo Nickel.
Neo-Nickel, the neo-Nazi Nickelback group.
Chad Kroger's, good friends with Zuckerberg. So
That's enough of the hate speech, everybody. Knock it off. You're gonna get us kicked off of YouTube too next.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know who runs YouTube now.
We love Nickelback. If you're listening out there,
Hello, is this thing on?
and Juice
Anybody
Newton.
there?
Is there anybody out there?
Jeez. Oh man.
You know what? Jason Bieler's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, he was great to have on.
What a
I love that
sport.
guy. Yeah.
Do you think we should cancel the stupid ridiculousness thing?
I don't know. It opened up some funny conversation, I thought.
We try it again. We'll give
might
it.
be more-
We'll give it one more try, and that's it.
Okay. It might be more fun for us than the guest, but
Yeah.
but I don't know. I liked it. I don't know. You guys tell us in the comments, the few of you that are watching on YouTube, did you like the goofy questions, or should we bag it? I'm just trying to keep it fresh.
It just kind of sounds like a Metal Sludge thing.
Well, it is. That's why I always give them credit right at the top of it. I'm completely ripping them off, but I always loved it, and they don't do a podcast, so it's like, well, we might as well do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. Stevie Rochelle should definitely do a podcast.
Oh
Give them
yeah.
any ideas. I don't want the competition.
None of it's competition.
Like there's not enough hours in the day to listen to everybody's podcast. Although for me lately, I haven't listened to anybody's podcast. You know, there was a time in my life that I would actually listen back to our own podcast just to get the feel of how the final product turned out.
Yeah.
And at this point, I haven't even listened to our own podcast. Once I'm done editing it, it's like, okay, well, I've heard it now. There you go.
Yeah.
Put it out into the world.
There's one vote for
You
it.
like them? Okay.
There's another one.
Okay, cool. Well, there you go.
Although bag some of it for real. Maybe I may go to 5 questions instead of 10.
Yeah.
Just make it shorter.
It is kind of tough though, because you don't want like you know, even with Jason, you don't want him to feel like, oh, we're trying to set you up to say something sassy that's gonna, you know,
No, I
get you
wasn't
in
looking-
trouble.
I truly wasn't looking for dirt. I was just trying to give him a laugh more than anything else.
He went well with it.
Yeah. How did the guy like it last week? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't really
I
remember.
heard.
I was
2
pretty
weeks
drunk by
ago.
that time.
I heard. Yeah.
A couple of uncomfortable questions, but you know, it's all
I went
good.
a little far with the LA Guns question. That was a bit too much.
He had a good comeback on the groupie question, so it was good.
Yeah, it's all good.
If anybody
But,
wants to know what we're talking about, watch the replay on Decibel Geek TV.
Yeah, you can watch it on there.
It's all there.
So we want to do Smash or Trash?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about Smash or Trash. Yeah, let's do that.
All right, here we go.
Smash or trash.
All right. Oh, I don't.
What
have
do you
the
got
wheel.
for us this week?
I gotta get
No,
the
no
wheels.
Corey Feldman.
I was
please.
gonna say, you got any Corey Feldman? That was really awesome.
I couldn't believe how you defended that, Aaron.
I
was like,
liked
what
it.
the
I didn't think it
fuck?
was that bad.
It was that bad.
I mean, it wasn't
I
great.
got to mention, did you guys notice my son was actually watching?
I saw that. That
I
was
did.
cool.
And I turned my mic
Just-
up like he asked me to.
Just like his dad trying to produce the show right away. Syntac, your mic's got to go up.
I did.
Camaro,
that.
back off a little bit. Ron, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Especially him in the Psycho Circus gear.
Yeah, he loved my chicken headdress. Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Decibel Geek chicken.
I was
And-
trying out for the Indian choir that Jason mentioned.
Oh, yeah. There you go. You might get a spot on the next album.
There we go.
So that's why you put that thing back on.
If he's desperate enough, yeah.
All right. Got those
Smash or
ready.
trash.
All right, let me share my screen. Make sure I
Spin
can
the
do
wheel,
this.
make a deal.
And all right, there's the wheel.
All right, here we go.
There we go.
Who do we got on there this week?
We got 4 bands this week. Lilla Sister or Lilla Sister.
Lilla Sister. Okay, that's a kind of a weird name. Are they? What are they?
They are a Swedish band. So
Lilla
Lilla
sister.
Sister.
With 4 previous albums released since the debut in 2007, countless live shows, and multiple nominations for Swedish Grammys, Lilla Seister are now releasing their 5th studio album, Svensk Jävla Metal.
Okay, yeah.
And I'd probably totally botch that.
Sounded pretty cool.
So this is the first single off of that record, and it's called Utan Rigrad.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Hey, it might be good. You never know.
It might be good.
Give it a chance. I know it takes a second to get going here.
I'm gonna get the lyrics wrong.
I totally thought they were saying something else. We can just make up our own words.
I hope that wasn't English, or I need to go to the doctor, check for my disease.
I didn't think it was too bad. I don't know. It's always tough for, I don't know if it's an American thing, but if you don't speak the language, you kind of have a hard time connecting with it. But
yeah, I do sound like that if I drink enough Jaeger.
we're getting there.
I'm gonna go with trash on that one. That was
Yeah, I'm gonna trash it too. I mean, I did like the guitars. I thought it was pretty jamming. It had a good groove to it. If it was an American band, maybe back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, I could have seen that being something. But yeah, not really my thing. The vocals, like you said, it's hard to connect with it if you don't understand it. And I mean, that ain't their fault. They're from Switzerland or wherever, but
yeah, it does sound a bit like Godsmack, doesn't it?
yeah, the guitars kind of had that sort of tone. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, something along those lines of Godsmack, maybe Korn along in that.
New metalish.
I agree with AC.
Yeah, kind of new metal.
I like the beat and the groove on it was good, but once the singing came in, I'm
not so much.
I don't know.
I mean, I didn't even think like the voice wasn't bad. I mean, for what it was, if like you say, it's hard to connect when you don't understand, but I didn't think the vocals sounded bad. It sounded like dude was a good vocalist. I just, can't connect.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right, what else we got? What is this? Sorceress of Sin? Yeah. That sounds awesome. I can't wait.
Well, at least we can pronounce it.
Yeah, what's Sorceress of Sin all about?
No, actually, it's Sorceress. Sorceress of Sin.
Socceress.
I spelled it wrong. Fuck
Socceress of Sin.
I had to do it fast.
It's like a female, dirty, filthy soccer player.
Always
like she's the, this is a song by a chick who cheats at soccer. She's the Socceress of Sin. Now I'm really interested.
Yeah.
All right. Socceress of Sin is an up-tempo, fast-paced, melodic power metal band of original and constantly morphing quality material up to that of a world-class standard. The music capitalizes on dynamic tempo changes, searing guitar riffs, dynamic bass lines, and animalistic vocals.
Animalistic?
Moo! Cock-a-doodle-doo!
All right, this is Sorceress of Sin.
Full of farmyard fun and metal.
Should I play this or not?
Well, we'll never know what an angry metal soccer mom sounds like if you don't.
All right. All right.
That ain't terrible, I don't think.
Hated the vocals.
Eh,
I'm going to trash that one too.
yeah, you guys better just stick with soccer, I think.
Toro on steroids.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think it was really too bad. I'm going to put it on. I don't want to smash it because I didn't think it was super great, but I don't want to trash it because it wasn't super horrible. I'm going to put it on the high side of the dumpster, I think.
Okay. Ron, what do you think?
Not for me. So I'm leaning towards trash. I don't know. She was trying too hard. That's what I said before. Female vocalists are hit and miss with me. And most of them, when they do metal, just try too hard, and it doesn't come off good.
Yeah, it's kind of opera-y, the vocals. You know, it's got the good metal background to it, but the singing is too operatic, I guess.
Well, it's like over the top.
Operatic.
Like kind of showing off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean.
We
She
get it.
was
You have
trying
range.
too hard.
Yeah, we understand that you're angry about soccer, but geez, calm down. We got a bunch of losers so far this week. Come on, Chris, spin us a winner.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, that metal soccer mom was not a goal.
Cool.
All right, Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. All right. I love the movie.
Yeah, me too.
It had David Bowie in it.
All right, this is an Italian metal band on Frontiers Records.
Okay. I know Frontiers can find some damn good Italian bands, as we found out, like Speedstroke.
Yeah.
What'd you
true.
say? Metal Italian band?
Uh-huh.
Italian metal band. But yeah.
Metallian.
Italian metal. Is it in
Italian.
English?
This is a Metallian band.
All right.
Forget about it.
Italian metalers Labyrinth will return with another great album in 2021. Welcome to the Absurd Circus. Once again, speedy power metal songs with unforgettable hooks. Epic
Welcome to the what?
Yeah, I just saw a video earlier on this very show that reminded me of Welcome to the Absurd Circus. But it was a
You have entered the Psycho Circus. Welcome to the show.
Here we go.
Ron, do you keep people in that room and make them put lotion in a basket? Because that really creeps me out.
I welcome you to put the lotion in the basket now.
Put the lotion in the fucking basket.
Oh, yeah.
There was not enough evidence, so they threw it out.
Well, that performance is still better than the record, so I'll give you credit on that.
I want to hear this Metallian band.
Battalion.
Yeah, Metallian.
Battalion.
They're Metallian.
All right.
Let's hear it.
So this is Labyrinth with the title track, The Absurd Circus. If I can find it. There it is.
I don't
like
know.
that one.
I'm not really into this one either. I don't think.
I like that one a lot personally. I thought it was
Yeah, it's all right. I'm not gonna smash it though. Hey, I don't think it's great. I think it's just kind of okay. Too many other bands like this, just like this.
good. Yeah. Ron, what do you think?
I think it's the best of what we heard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked it. I don't know if I'll say smash, but it was halfway there. Not bad.
I mean, it's no Corey Feldman or nothing, but it's
Yeah.
all right.
Well, who is?
Hey, where'd I go?
Praising Corey Feldman. Jesus Christ. It was very Dream Theater-ish, I will say that.
Yeah, and I'm not really into that. I don't want to listen to bands and then also have to have my calculator next to me to try to figure out how this is happening. You know, I just like to kick back and listen to music and enjoy it, not think about it too much.
Yeah. All right, one band left. Let's spin the wheel.
Come on, this has got to be the good one, right?
I can't promise anything. I never know how you guys are going to react.
The Labyrinth was all right, but they're no Speed Stroke.
Silk Road.
Silk Road.
All right, I can take the
Okay.
screen out. All right. let me get-
Tell us about the Silk Road.
All right, Silk Road is a 4-piece hard rock band spewing out groovy riffs and music you can dance and mosh to. Taking
Right.
influences from anywhere between Tool and David Bowie, Stevie Wonder to Slipknot, Silk Road wishes to create the perfect sound for a purposeful point. Their goal is to create great music without being boxed into just one genre and without adhering to the norm of rock and roll. I love all these press releases.
I can dig that. The bands that they listed, like list 4 bands that sound like what you are, and you list those bands. I go, I'm not gonna like this. It's
Well,
Slipknot
like
mixed with
opposite
David
in-
Bowie and Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, opposite ends of the spectrum there. Like,
You know, it's a little Slipknot with some Barry Manilow thrown in, and a little Slayer
Yeah.
mixed in there, along with a little Cyndi Lauper. You know,
Although
Strange.
Bieler said he loves Manilow and Meshuggah, so maybe he'll
Right.
just be up his alley. All right, this is Silk Road with a song called Amber.
ooh, that is funky. I like that.
I can hear the Manilow in there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is by far my favorite song of the night. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do
100% smash. Kind of reminds me of King's X a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear that. I didn't think of that before, but yeah, I
Yeah,
hear that.
I like it a lot. I'm gonna add that to my list. I gotta find that. I like it.
Silk Road.
Smash.
I could only picture Manilow doing it, but it was still good. It would be the best Manilow song I ever heard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he does it right after he does Mandy.
Just before Copacabana.
So is that band? Wait, what? Tell me about them again. Now that I'm interested in them, I want to pay attention.
But, 4-piece hard rock band, and it just talks about their influence. It doesn't really
where
say,
they does it say where they're from or anything?
No, but I can find out really quick.
They got other albums. What's this album called? I want to get it.
The album, yeah, the album is called Grit for the Pretty.
Is this a band that's been around for a while?
I'll be able to tell you in a minute. I usually just try to keep the descriptions kind of short.
Okay, I like them. I want to.
I
would see you can't do that now because every once in a while you play something really good, and we want to know more about it.
Yeah, well,
I really like that a lot.
They're a UK hard rock band. It's their debut album.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Excuse me.
And I don't know what label they're on. I don't know that they're on a label. I think they're independent, actually.
Huh.
Yeah, they've got
Somebody ought to be looking at this band because I think they're pretty good.
They've got a good media team behind them, though. Really good. And there's like several videos on YouTube you can watch, too.
Oh, I might have to check those out then.
Yeah, UK hard rock band, Silk Road. Pretty cool.
I got a good name, everything.
Yeah, I like them. So we found one that we liked. Aaron beat me to it. I was thinking,
yeah,
and
that,
the bass
and I really liked the bass in it. You know, the bass was like,
yeah, it was way out front.
I dig that.
Yeah, I like that. Pretty cool.
And finally, the vocals weren't too bad.
Yeah, vocals were good.
Yeah, and amen to that.
And they were in English,
Al.
so that's always a plus.
I'm ready for a new King's X album too. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm too drunk. I didn't notice whether it was in English or not, but it still sounded good.
How many of those have you had tonight, Ron?
Yeah, a couple.
Just one. One great big one. One bucket. I haven't even finished my first drink yet.
I still got ice though, so I'm good.
Yeah, I know. Mighty K's not here to get on to you about it. I thought she would have been here tonight.
I know. See,
some
when
people
I
are too
stock up
snobby
on
to
the
come off
ice
Facebook and go to YouTube. What's up with that? YouTube's not that hard to get to. Oh man.
Here we go. Need a new
Tomahawk.
tomahawk. Here you go.
Oh boy.
I can't even
If the
get it on my head now.
Hey,
there we go.
If the Chiefs lose this weekend, I'm blaming you, Ron.
Or,
Damn.
Yeah,
what
we
is it
are
they
one
do?
step closer to the Decibel Geek Bowl.
John Elway would be so disappointed in you right now.
Yeah. They're gonna put you under the Denver airport.
I got to be careful. They'll make us change our name. We'll just be.
Welcome to the Decibel Chiefs.
We'll just be like the
approve.
Washington football team.
We'll be that rock and roll podcast that everybody likes.
The rock and roll podcast.
Yeah, how come Washington has changed their name, but the Chiefs still get away with it?
Oh, just wait. I'm sure we'll have our time too. Although Chiefs it's like a high ranking Indian, so I don't view it as Redskins was a straight up racial
So-
slur. I mean, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that is kind of
Chiefs is like an honorary title. I don't see how it's a
Yeah.
slap in the face to anybody.
I don't understand the whole lingo.
Oh boy.
Let's get off the subject
Yeah.
before
Oh, look
Ron says something we all regret.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Todd Cunningham trying to stir up trouble here. Well, Todd, the Chiefs aren't going to lose to the Packers in
Oh,
the Super Bowl,
come
so it's not
on.
a big deal.
Well, you don't think the Chiefs are going to win this weekend?
No, I do.
I think the Chiefs can go to the Super Bowl, but they're not going to beat the Packers.
Yeah, they will.
The Friday Night Live right after the Super Bowl is going to be me and whoever the winner was.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It'll either be Aaron or Chris, and that'll be the end of it.
Stop. You're going to make me cheer against the Packers. So I don't have to do
you'll
this
never-
no more.
You'll never cheer against the Packers.
Oh, man. You suckered me into a second podcast, it seems like.
You were all
The
for
problem is
I
I
know.
wouldn't know which one to root for then.
Yeah.
Just root for the
Yeah.
puppy
Should
bowl.
be interesting. We'll see.
But I live with a huge Chiefs fan, so
Yep.
You're used to seeing her looking disappointed.
she wasn't disappointed last
Not
year.
last year we weren't.
She was pretty damn happy for that. So,
I thought he was going to say last night.
well, that too.
Although my favorite meme coming out of that
When
Chiefs,
I wore the headdress.
yeah, my favorite meme coming out of that Chiefs Browns game was somebody just took a screenshot of Baker Mayfield's insurance commercial. Just says "At home with Baker Mayfield," where he'll be watching the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But,
See, I wear this to bed, and then
Guaranteed to get you some.
I say, just call me Patrick Mahomes. And
yeah, the resemblance is uncanny.
that gets her wet before I can even get near her.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Jeez, Ron.
You've definitely had too much to drink.
Gotta lay off the peyote.
Hang on, people. We only got 10 more minutes. We can get through this together.
Oh, I can do a lot in 10 minutes. I can do a lot in 2 minutes. Just ask her.
Oh, boy.
I'm just gonna drown you out with Paul Stanley clips.
For the next 10 minutes.
Oh my God. That's what happens when I think of Ron in bed with an Indian.
This has been a lot of fun, but I am so tired.
You want to call
so
it a
tired.
night?
Oh, whatever.
Can't think of much else to really touch on. I think
Calm
we were
down, Aaron.
pretty efficient tonight.
I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
We
What
can
do
just
you
make
do
it-
after Decibel Geek Live is over, Ron? You just sit there and keep talking and drinking?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like, well, I got to finish the bucket. Can't throw it out. That would be wasteful.
I just stay on here and I talk to myself and crack jokes.
And they get the same reaction as during the show. So
Yeah,
everyone's
pretty
different.
much. Yeah.
I thought Jason Bieler really appreciated the rim shot sound effect.
Yeah, it was timed just right. Yeah, nobody
we
needs
do.
that visual.
We need a Rock and Ron after hour. You can have
After
at it if
hours
you-
with Rock and Ron.
If you want to stay on, Ron, that's fine. You can take over. We just won't end the broadcast. But I'm getting out of here soon. I know
Yeah.
Aaron's tired too.
Then we'll come back and be like, oh, now we're kicked off of everything. What happened?
We do have a cool interview we're doing on Monday though. For
Yeah.
the podcast. We got Tony Mann, who was like right in the middle of that New York 70s rock scene, and we're gonna have him on, and I know he's got tons of great stories about the Ramones and the Dolls and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Those are some of the shows I feel really good about because I haven't had a cigarette this whole time.
He's talking about something else, I think.
Oh, come on.
I
I
love
haven't
my
smoked nothing in
dog.
2 hours.
I think you're so tired. You look like you have.
I am tired. I'm
Yeah, your
freaking
eyes are
tired. I'm
about
going
half
right to
closed.
bed after this.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
But I was saying that, those are some of the shows that are a lot of fun because of their historical value. It makes you feel like as a podcast, we're contributing to the continued celebration and, remembrance of rock and roll, especially for people like us that weren't there. We're too young, didn't live there, didn't live it, and it's like the Sunset Strip episodes we did where we talked to people that were there, and they told us the awesome stories. And like when we had Cher Bach on the show, and she told us about these early 70s New York rockin' times, and how great that was. And I think this will be kind of a continuation of that from another angle, from somebody else that was there, that lived it. And those are some of my favorite episodes to do because, I don't even want to talk. I just want to say, all right, welcome to the Decibel Geek podcast. I'm Aaron Camaro. This is Chris Sinzak. Tell us everything you know. And just let us sit back.
I talked with Cher Bach at Rockin' Pod for quite a while, and boy,
she's awesome.
she's got some stories.
She's got
she's super
we gotta
cool.
get her to come back on sometime.
Remember the time we were down in Atlanta for what's his face's thing, and she just like, we're all partying down in Atlanta, and then all of a sudden Cher Bach is there. It's like, I didn't even know you guys were down here. This Kiss thing was happening.
Yeah,
but she just happened to be in Atlanta and saw us on Facebook or whatever. And next thing you know, she's there partying with us. It was awesome.
Yeah, and she was staying at that hotel, had no idea that event was going on. And it's so weird because she worked for Bill Coyne and she was in that whole circle. Yeah, she had a blast. She got to catch up with Bob Kulick, who she dated for several years.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said he was like just as like, what the fuck are you doing here, as she was to him.
Right, I bet. Yeah, that was a cool coincidence.
Yeah, this week was the 3-year anniversary of that weekend, and just
saw that.
It's so cool
it's
going
memories
through all the
popping
old photos.
up.
Yeah, just that. Regardless of what happened with Vinny, though, that whole weekend was just a blast for everybody.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the whole thing, getting to hang out with Kevin Williams, and then Joe Polo over at his place.
Oh, and we hung out with Rock and Ron.
And we hung out. Rock and Ron was there. The Rontourage was born. That was a fun weekend. Oh. We didn't know how things were going to go with Vinnie Vincent from then on out, but that weekend was out of this world awesome, full of wonder and excitement.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't take it back for anything.
We got treated like VIPs down there almost. It was great.
Well, we paid for the VIP.
I just had an interesting.
Oh yeah, then where's my action figure? I mean my figurine.
And we're supposed to get laminated prints or something too. There was a bunch of shit we were supposed to get we never got.
I just saw an interesting post by my oldest brother that lives in Wyoming, that he posted something about Red Rocks Amphitheater here in Denver. Mm-hmm. And he said that he saw the Beatles here in '66.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow, I need to talk to him some more, because I need to, you don't realize that these people that are older than us, of what stories they have of what concerts they've seen and things like that. It's
get them to come on here with us
one time.
Yeah. Get him come on here with us. See your bucket of Jaeger. He'll be so proud what his little brothers become.
Actually,
tell us stories about seeing the Beatles at Red Rocks. I mean, how awesome must that have been?
My other brother actually has the real stories, because he was a tour manager for a lot of bands and did rigging and stuff like that for, he did country artists like Shania Twain and Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, but then he also was good friends with James Taylor and a whole bunch of
people
I thought. What was that now?
We could do like a
love to party.
Runyon family reunion on the show. Bring the whole family. Bring all the brothers.
We could the Rock and Ron roast.
Yeah.
You could have his whole family come on and make
The
fun.
Rock and Ron reunion. Reunion.
All right,
the onion roast.
Loopy.
Oh God, I'm so tired. It's just delirious at this point.
All right, I think we should probably call it a night.
Well,
I'm gonna
we
get some
are-
rest. I will be ready next Friday. We'll kick some
Yes.
ass. We'll maybe have a guest, maybe not. You know,
Yeah,
who
we'll-
knows?
We'll find out. We'll let you guys
We'll
know.
keep it
Well,
Right now it's open. We're working on some things. Haven't
I'll
got
have,
anything confirmed yet or not, so don't know. But hopefully we will be on Facebook and YouTube
yeah, we should be.
by next week. Hopefully
Keep
all
Chris
have,
away from the protests. We'll be
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I know. No more neo-Nazi.
hopefully all this political protesting and stuff will be done and we can get back to being
And
on
I'll have,
Facebook.
And I'll have Rock and Pod news also.
Oh yeah, it's getting to be that time
Oh,
of year.
that's
My
right.
favorite time of year when the Rocket Pod news starts coming out, and every week I can go, "What do you got?" And you're like,
Yeah,
"I
I
got
can-
this," and be like, "That's awesome."
I can spill beans next week.
When is it? The 29th? So
Yeah.
is
next
that
Friday.
the next one we're doing? Next Friday?
Yep, next Friday.
All right.
There you
All right.
go. Next Friday night, a lot of Rock and Pod revelations coming your way.
Yep.
And we're going to have some guest announcements, right?
I should have some. Yeah, I've got it.
We'll at least announce that Rock and Ron is going to be there. Spoiler alert.
Well, spoiler alert. Yeah, I can announce that I am going to be there this time.
You have to wear you got to wear the headdress though.
I can work that out. Yeah.
Okay.
If my wife will give it up.
If your wife will give it up. All right, it's time to go.
Go see if your wife will give it up and let us know.
Yeah.
Well, if they win the Super Bowl, she might not want to give it up. So
This is getting way too personal.
When the Packers win the Super Bowl, I'm going to go to my wife and I'm going to say, "I'm here to give it up."
All right, let's get out of here.
I mean, I'm here to pack it up.
Oh.
All right, go Packers, go Chiefs. We'll see you guys next Friday.
All right. Take care, guys. See you then.
Bye.